Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. First of all, thank you, Lord, for another beautiful day He has given us to make a difference in today's world. Okay. And we had some technical difficulties today, but sometimes the devil try to work on you and play on you. But you know what? We're going to rebuke him in the name of Jesus Christ this night.
Amen.
Ain't that right, Brother Sean?
Amen.
Not only do I have my good friend, me and this brother go way back when he was at White Haven High School, class of 1987, Mr. Sean W. Burke. And also, this brother went to, TSU legend. He went up to, TSU. He got up there a year before I did. I got up there after him. And, us little young freshmen, we always looked up to guys like this, especially Westwood guys. I'm going to tell the truth right here today, right now. Right. A lot of Westwood cats not going to admit to this, but we stayed at White Haven High School because you guys had all the ladies over there. Either right. White Haven or Hamilton. I am not in Central. Yeah, I can say them too. But the White House had all the beautiful ladies. So we stayed over there trying to hang out with these cats and kind of indulge with their women. But anyway, Mr. Sean W. Burks, this brother here he defied all the odds. And if this brother can do it, anybody out there, if you put God first, I promise you, He would take you from here all the way to there. But you got to put Him first. So without further ado, I want Mr. Sean W. Burks, I want him to jump in and tell us, right now we're his restaurant. He's one of the co-owners of the Blue Room Restaurant. This is my first time here, and I'm telling you, this is a Class A establishment. I didn't know about it, so this is going to be my hangout. Going forward, this is going to be my hangout, brother. But without further ado, Mr. Sean W. Burks, kind of, first of all, tell us, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit, between Whitehaven and TSU, and kind of tell us about, the history of you, brother.
Well, first of all, Cedric, it's an honor, and thank you for inviting me on your podcast. I've enjoyed most of your episodes that I've been able to watch. How can I say? My mom and my father, they always raised me around in the church. Mm. My dad attended Mount Sinai from Lauderdale, and I was raised as a member of Centenary United Methodist Church, Macklemore, Lauderdale, the Miracle on Macklemore. And when you raise a child, you need to plant certain seeds, and they'll grow as you water them, nurture them. And God has always been the head of our household. And prayer, meditation, prayer, concentration, and patience. Gotta have patience is a virtue. So one of the things that's really blessed me, how I got in this wheelchair, guys, I got robbed and shot. And when I woke up in that emergency room, I had people whispering in my ear saying, "Hey, we're going to get them. We're going to find them. We're going to get them." And I looked at them and I told them, I said, God's giving me another chance at life because I could be dead. I've forgiven him, and let's move on. I said, because if something happens, you kill him or he kills you or whatever the situation may be, you'll be in a world of trouble and you have blood on your hands, and that's not how I was raised. So that's been the start, and I've always, Mama didn't raise no punk, but I keep God first, and He shielded and protected me and my family.
You know what? That in itself, I don't know who's watching, but if you watch this, that's why He defied all odds. Not only did He just tell us that He forgave that young man that did that to him, but look what God has brought him to. Because a lot of us would have been vindictive, but God intervened and said, you know what? And we was all young back then.
You're right.
And when we was young, we was kind of.
I was 23 years old.
You was young, right?
Right.
So you won't. But see, guess what? God intervened. And if you had done it, no telling what your life would have been down.
Mm-hmm.
So, brother, you are listen. You are an inspiration to a lot of people. I'm talking millions of people that I know that look up to you.
Thank you.
And that almost brought tears to my eyes, brother, what you just said. But that's the reason why I wanted to get you on here, son, so you can share your story, brother, because your story is powerful. You know, that's the first beginning of your journey with God, right?
Correct.
Now take us from the wheelchair to, your next step. Kind of tell us what happened after that.
So I was still in the process of trying to find myself. At the time when I got shot, I left Tennessee State, so I was going to Shelby State, which was Shelby State at the time, Shelby State Community College. I was working at the post office at nights, and I was working at my uncle's liquor store. And my cousin, Reginald Wiseman, had started me into flipping homes. So I was still trying to find myself when I got shot. So once I got shot, I was in the hospital for 3 months, and I went through therapy for almost a year, going back and forth, trying to get myself in shape. And I couldn't figure it out. So maybe I got hurt in 92. So around 95, I started working at True Green Chemline.
Okay.
And which is a Fortune 500 company. And before that, I was working at AutoZone Corporate Call Center. And it's, working in a work environment, that's just not me. I've always been a leader, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I had a supervisor, and shout out to Michael Barber and Leon that worked with me at AutoZone Corporate Center, and Sherman, Big Sherman he's out at the Memphis Health Department now. And all of us were young guys working, but we were on the corporate level because of us being in college. And had a supervisor who used to pick on me about being late. It's almost like a family curse. My dad's sister was always late. And now, if I got a real estate closing, I'm gonna be on time. If I had to go to church, I try to be on time. But anything else, I'll be late. So I would always be in the top 10% in sales nationwide at AutoZone. And he called me to the office, Mr. Anderton. He's a good friend of mine now, and the supervisor. And he talked to me. He said, Mr. Burke, we see you have a problem being late, this and that, this and that. And I said, yes, sir, I have been late. I said, but it's a big adjustment for me being in a wheelchair now. And I live by myself. I got an apartment downtown. And it's just an adjustment. I said, but if you look on the stat sheet, I said, I'm always in the top 10%. So meanwhile, this gentleman is going in the computer, typing it in, looking it up, and got this supervisor that evidently he really didn't care for me. He was busy trying to say bad things. So I told him, I said, Mr. Anderton, I said, all of the employees here that are full-time, they get here they milking you for 15 minutes before it's time for them to clock in, and they drinking up all the coffee, eating up all the donuts. And I said, they milking you for another 15 minutes after they're supposed to clock out. I said, I'm supposed to be here 4 hours. I give you 3 hours and 45 minutes of work, but I'm always in the top 10%. But these guys are in the lower 40 or 50%. So who is more of an asset to your company? He said, Mr. Burke, you are exactly right. You are be excused, but try to be on time. I said, yes, sir. And I rode out of there. And, but it shined a little light as far as what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be in life. I just decided that I wanted to, be my own business owner, be my own boss. So the first initial thing that was done, a lot of people don't know, my mom was raised as a Crosby, but she was adopted by her grandparents. Mm-hmm. Her actual maiden name is Hampton. Mm-hmm. Okay. When her mother and father divorced in Bricky, Arkansas, I think. My grandfather, he migrated to St. Louis, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Then he migrated to Detroit. So I know now, I didn't know then, but my mom's brother would fly out to get me, and we were flying first class. I didn't know it, and this was like in 1976. Mm-hmm. And when I got up there, my grandfather owned a half a city block on Shoemaker. He had a corner grocery store. He had a mechanic shop, and he owned a nightclub. And he bought me a big wheel, and I ride my big wheel up and down the street. Mm-hmm. And he would make me work if I wanted to eat. I was like 5 or 6 years old. So my job was, when the milkman came, was to put the fresh milk to the back and put the old milk to the front. And he paid me a quarter. And I was smart enough to know that that quarter wasn't enough, because I could get a Chico stick and a hot dog, but I didn't have enough to get a jungle juice. So my grandfather started looking at me. He said, "Son, you figure it out." Mm-hmm. And excuse me, guys, we got gnats in here. We grow a lot of our own fresh food and fruit. So we got some fruit flies around here that we got to kill. Got to get them. But anyway, yeah, one of my customers, my guest. But anyway, make a long story short, the seed was planted. Mm-hmm. So in 96, I ran into Bob Winbush down at Pressure World. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Pressure World and Winbush, Firehouse Production. Mm-hmm. And Winbush, he knew that I knew a lot of guys, and we was getting our money, man. We knew a lot of guys that had money, access to capital. He said, "Sean," he said, "I want to do some concerts, and I need some backing. I need some help." He said, "I know you the person to talk to." So I called my cousin KJ. So we would put together concerts. If you guys ever heard of KJ Enterprise? We would put together concerts, and we would do concerts, anybody from Deborah Cox to John B. We were the first to bring Lil Wayne, and back then it was Juvenile and the Cash Money Millionaires. Mm-hmm. And Lil Wayne was performing, 3-6 Mafia with Gangsta Boo. We did Def Comedy Jam, and we did it on a high level at the Orpheum or at the Coliseum at the time. And then I was one of the co-founders with Michael Boogaloo Boyer, a gentleman by the name of Cliff Johnson. He was the troubleshooter for the Hard Rock Cafe. So we had one of the longest running parties here in the city, Hard Rock, Old School Sundays with Michael Boogaloo Boyer. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that. And then in 1999, I opened up Galaxy Communications, which was a beeper and cellular phone company, with a guy named Leslie Green. And my neighbor, shout out to Mark Goodfellow over at It's All Good Auto Sales. It's all good. So we hang out and party and throw parties and concerts and just have a great time in life. Mm-hmm. But I still wasn't focused. I didn't really find where I was at. I was busy trying to get up under every cute girl's dress and run the street buying sports cars and stuff. And I wasn't focused, which I was living my life. I had a great time, but I just quite wasn't there yet. So I ended up finding myself on drugs, partying and on drugs. So I smoked crack, snorted cocaine as entertainment from 96 to 2006. And my wife at the time, when I met her, I was a functioning junkie. I always looked nice, but I was hanging out with strippers and going out of town with strippers and doing stuff I ain't have no business. And she told me, she said, Sean, it's either me or the drugs. And I went to rehab twice, Ricky. I went to rehab twice. And the second time, when I went in, shout out to Caps. It wasn't court appointed for me. May rest in peace. Reverend Herbert Lester got me in drug rehab. And I went in drug rehab, and I think I need to tell this story because it was kind of funny. It was a counselor in there. Whenever you came in, he humiliated you, but it was kind of like a Jedi mind trick to get you focused. So he asked me the same thing that he asked everybody else. He said, do you have a car? I said, yes, I have a Porsche 928. He said, do you have a cell phone? I said, yes, sir. He said, is it in your name? He said, do you own a home? I said, yes, sir. Is it in your name? Yes, sir. Do you have a light bill? Yes, sir. Is it in your name? Yes, sir. Get the hell out of my damn so-and-so. Because he think he talking to a crackhead.
Yeah.
And I was a crackhead at the time.
Functioning.
I was a functioning junkie. So everybody looked at me like I was crazy because the average Joe that came in there was BSing around. They didn't have a cell phone. They didn't have a car. They was either staying with a parent or renting, just tripping. So next morning, I'm in there washing dishes because I had, when you're in rehab, you have to have your little jobs. It's almost like being in jail. And they called me to the office. Now, when they call you to the office, that means you're in trouble. And I think it's just very important that I tell this story. Now, I'm washing dishes in a wheelchair now. They called me to the front office, and when I get there, the director and two counselors are there. They said, Mr. Burke, we're going to have to apologize to you. And I said, for what? They said, we thought you was the biggest doggone liar it was walking. And he told me, let me tell you what got me off drugs. He said, if you stop getting high, you already there. Everybody already trying to get a check, and you have surpassed the check. And it did something. It you know how some people can say things and it'll kind of hit a light bulb. And I said, you know what, you're right. Let's get back to God. I was out of there in 30 days. They put me out. They say you are exemplary client, and Mr. Burke, you've done your thing. And when I left there, I promised the good Lord, I'm not looking back. And God showed me. He said, son, I'm going to bless you now. I'm going to show you. And the funniest thing about it, and I just like to tell my people out in the listening audience that think they're going through something. Everybody you think that's your friend is not your friend. As long as you out here effed up and screwed up and giggling and going to the club and drinking. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with going to the club and enjoying yourself in moderation. But as long as you out being a knucklehead and stupid, everybody your friend. Because they want to see you down because you on their level doing stupid stuff. But when you change your life around and you move a little different, you know, and you finally per se get out of the hood and leave the hood where it lays. And and I'm the type of person, I've never had my ghetto past revoked. It's just that I move different. And you'll find that it's the hood will pull you down. And I've learned things because, you know, I own commercial property, I own residential properties. I've learned that I had to kind of separate myself from the hood because in the Black community, we have a lot of jealousy. And it's sad, Ricky. It's really sad that, you know, even when my mom raised me, you know, my mom would have me when my parents got a divorce when I was 10, 11 years old, and I'd be out helping her cut the grass or sweep or pick up paper or get the weeds out the flower bed. You know, the kids walking down the street and say, "You must think you white." Mm. So I gotta be white in order for my home to look nice. Those same cats, they still stuck in the hood. They mama's shutters crooked, grass grown up, trash in front of the house, old raggedy car in the driveway. You know, Westwood ain't the same place it was in the 70s. Yeah. You know, because people don't have any honor. They don't have any pride. You don't have households where there's a mother and a father. See, when we was coming up, it was a mom and a dad in the house. Both of them worked. They own their homes. Mm-hmm. So it's once I got past that and figured out what I wanted to do, God just blessed me. When the recession hit in 2007 and 8, I was, when everybody else was whining and crying, I was one of the ones that prospered. And I did well. I did well for myself. I mean, I have a great life. I've been able to travel all over the world. I've been to Africa, Europe, South America, anywhere in the United States. I've been from Hawaii to New York. I've been, and it's been great being a guy from Westwood that went to Whitehaven to Tennessee State, Nashville, and I've been able to see everything and meet a lot of people. And I've established a lot of relationships internationally as well. So I've had a great time. But you learn becoming an entrepreneur that it's a sacrifice. And to you young entrepreneurs out there, your best customers aren't going to be your friends or your family. There'll be people that you least expect, people that you don't know. Just do good business and try to give people quality service or quality product. You're gonna find out as you prosper in life. My dad always told me, he said, "Son, you know, as you get certain levels in life, you know, like they say, there's levels to this. You have to leave some friends behind. Not saying they're not still your friend or your buddy, but you have to leave some people behind." And I've kind of found that out that, you know, as long as I was that guy going over watching their big screen TV and they could offer me a beer, it was fine. But when I got my nice home and my nice things and my TV, can't find them because it's big them, little you. And I've never been that way, and I'm expressing it right now because it hurts. You know, the ones that are watching this, they know who they are. They know. You know, but I've been the same the whole time.
You know what? They definitely know, Sean. Here's the thing, man. I'm gonna go back. You know, you from Westwood. I mean, God definitely moved among you, sir. I mean, this is a powerful story that I didn't know. I mean, it's touching me right here, and everything I love is touching me here to know that the people that you thought were your friends, they're gonna always fail you. And it's hard, when you're successful, it's challenging to have friends.
It very much so.
Because people have hidden agendas, and they're your friends when you got something.
Right.
But when you don't, when your back is against the wall, where are they? And for me, it's good. I see your beautiful wife. It's great to have a woman in your corner. I mean,
Exactly.
when you find that good woman, you gotta keep her. My mom has been in my corner, and I've always been single because me, I couldn't balance the life and business part of it. It was challenging to me, right? But going back to friends, like I tell people, all the people on Facebook, not your friend.
Exactly.
We're not doing this for clicks and likes.
Exactly.
We're doing this to listen. In order for us to move forward with our children, which is our future, we got to show them this story.
Right.
You started at a young age. Just like my father did. He trained us at a young age. And these kids they see these rappers. They see the game last night with Mahomes. You can't be Mahomes.
Right.
You can't be DJ Quick and Sir Mixon. I'm just going back. Oh, you can't.
Right.
They need to see business people like you and I.
You can do it.
Listen, you can do whatever you want to with God first in your life. And you know what? People talk. They talked about Jesus. But that's going to fuel you to do, because listen, I said
I like
this,
that haterade.
You like that? Hey, I said this yesterday. We got to stick together. We need more people to help with this movement.
Correct.
Because if we don't, nobody else will.
Right.
They don't care, because guess what? They got theirs.
Right.
They got theirs, Sean. You said it right here. They got theirs, so they can care less about yours.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we got to be the ones to help prepare this table for God. Because he's watching.
Correct.
He's proud of everything that you have done from your life on to now. Right? So now it's time to take that life to the next level. What you're doing. And it's up to us right here today. You're going to be one of them with me that's going to help us get a seat for these kids at the table. Because if we don't, nobody else will. I keep real.
We got to come together.
We got to come together as one. Listen, guys, if you're watching, I'm telling you, I'm praying that we all come together. I don't care what walk of life you're from, Whitehaven, Westwood. We got to come together as people. Because if we don't, you know what? Here's the thing about it. Other races, which I applaud them, they can do it without a problem. You got other races, they can stay in the same household to gain what they need to do to go to the next level. We can't. We always worry about, okay, Sean, if I go to the blue room, Sean gonna make more money than me. No.
Right.
You go support other people's business and won't say not one. Listen, you'll get lousy service, bad food, and you'll still go back.
Right.
But you go to another establishment, us. We always hold us at a higher standard for whatever reason.
Right.
That's what I can't.
And McDonald's ain't got to order right in 20 years.
What you said? You said it.
They ain't never got to order right in 20 years.
You said it, brother.
Right.
But going back to we sticking together, we really got to get it right.
Right.
Because guess what? All this stuff that's happening is not for a reason. God is coming. He's already here.
Right.
We don't see it. So if you don't have your life ordered to Christ right now, you better give it to him. Because right now he see everything you do. You can hide behind closed doors all you want. Right. I'm not saying I sin, but I ask God to forgive me for my sins. Correct. But at the end of the day, for my one sin, I try to do 1,000 more to get blessed. Correct. Right? Correct. And like I said, I know people ask me, you get paid. Man, listen, God has blessed me. I don't need to get paid from this Facebook stuff. I don't need that. Right. What I need people to understand and see is stories like this to understand that you can defy the odds. If you put God at the head of your family, your life, he can take your brother in the wheelchair. He told you he got shot and forgave the brother who shot him. So guess what, brother? I'm telling you right now, right here today, that I couldn't wait to do this interview with you because I didn't know you was on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know.
Right.
But a man to come over there and tell his story like this, that's powerful. Because a lot of us scared to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
We scared to tell we made mistakes in life. And I made a lot of mistakes in life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You made mistakes in life.
Of course, I'm
guess
not perfect.
what? We're not perfect. But God has given us another opportunity to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
So, brother, I want you to tell people about this nice establishment. I know you're the co-owner of the Blue Room restaurant, but I want you to lead us up to the Blue Room and tell us how you come about with the Blue Room restaurant. Because listen, you've never been in the restaurant business.
No, I have not.
I have.
Right.
I know it's challenging.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's a beast.
It's a beast.
Right.
But look what God done for you.
At a high level, I've been blessed. At a high level.
So tell us how God has taken you from all the way there. You always been blessed.
Right.
But he continued to bless you.
Right.
Look at it. So tell us, brother, about the Blue Room.
Well, you know, I'm gonna get to the Blue Room.
All right, let me bag up. Go ahead.
But let me tell you something. I want to speak on what you said about us as a community coming together. You know, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said whether you're selling bean pies or rubber bands, America is a capitalist society, and everything is structured on capitalism.
Amen.
Okay, so I'm registered as a Democrat, but a lot of things that Republicans vote on or their agenda benefits me as a businessman as far as the tax structure and tax write-offs. Okay, so I'd like to tell my Black community, start your own business. You can start at going downtown, paying $30 and starting at just a regular business license. It's so much easier. I'm 55 years old. It's so much easier now to start a business because of the internet. You don't even have to have inventory. An inventory now is just a picture. Get with someone and start your website, start your business, and don't be scared to fail. Failure is a learning tool.
Say that again.
Failure is a learning tool. If you're scared to fail, you'll never succeed. Get up every morning, thank God for letting you see another day, and hit it. Put your plan in place. And then I'm gonna say another thing. Don't share your dreams with everybody. Keep them secure within yourself, because people out here are dream killers. They don't, when you tell them what you want to do, they're not always for you. They don't always want to help you, or they might not even believe in you. So, another thing, nepotism. Lil Ray hanging on the block can't help you. He don't have nothing. Okay, Peggy Sue, that's standing in line trying to get in the club, she can't help you. All her mind is on the club. And what I mean by nepotism is who you know and who knows you. If you're the smartest person in your circle, get out of that circle and get around someone that's smarter than you. And establish relationships. Change what you do. Don't, the same energy you spend to try to go to the all white or the all black or the Southern Heritage Classic or trying to get a bus to go to the Cowboy games, use that same energy to step back and say, hey, this year I'm going to start my business. This year I'm going to get home ownership. And closing in that, as far as I'm saying nepotism, I've had a lot of success because I've hung around the Jewish community. And the difference between what they teach and what our Black pastors are not teaching is that I got a great friend of mine, and he'll be over here at the restaurant tomorrow night hanging out with me. He told me, he said, in the Jewish community, when a child is born, we take out 3 insurance policies on them. See, that's what they don't tell you. See, we busy chasing money as a Black community, okay? They get a life insurance policy. They get a policy that they leave their alumni association, and then they get a policy for their church. So when you leave these endowments in place, one thing that my dad always told me, you gonna shit, you gonna die. Whichever one come first is gonna happen. Black people don't believe it's like deja vu or taboo for them to have life insurance. We don't have life insurance. How you gonna leave somebody something, or how you gonna, everybody can hustle up on a $2,000 check or $5,000, $10,000 income tax return. But when your mama die and she leave you $200,000, $250,000, you can move something, you can do something. But let me say this. It is very embarrassing in our community. And I just want y'all to know, they sit back and laugh at us. When somebody die, you on Facebook talking about we raising money to bury somebody. But you got on Jordans, he got on Jordans, you got rims on your car, and all that kind of stuff. And I just letting this off my chest on this platform is because I've had to sacrifice in order to get to where I am. I like big gold chains and nice watches and fancy cars too. But I had to move different in order to get where I am. Leave that foolishness alone and get about your hog killing. So back to nepotism. I was able to move into this restaurant and get this restaurant because of nepotism. My neighbor across the street and a few other guys, which my partners who are Indian, we were sitting around during COVID thinking about, and anybody can use this idea, Collierville doesn't have anything for diverse community. Okay. Back in the day, and even up until maybe now, it's kind of changed in the past 10 years. Collierville used to have this thing about which side of the tracks you stay on. If you stayed on the north side of the tracks, more than likely you were Caucasian. If you stayed on the south side of the tracks, you were either black or you was white, but you was a landowner with a lot of land. Okay. So in the early 2000s, as they started developing on the south side of the tracks, you had people of all ethnicities coming to Memphis, working international paper, Federal Express, IT, that were moving, and they're looking at it like, I just moved from California. This house I'm buying for $500,000 cost me $3-4 million in LA. So I'm happy to be here. So we're sitting around at the homeowners association, hanging out, drinking beers and just chilling. And the women would say, there's nowhere out here for me. And they come from, like I said, all ethnicities, Indian, Asian, black, white, but they're not from Memphis. They're not hung up on racism, color. Every city know money green. Memphis is the only city that's still divided, black and white. The only city. You lived in Nashville. Look how Nashville came up.
Because they got one government.
They got one government. And they built their city around education. Lemoyne just got dormitories 20 years ago, and we still don't have enough. So how you gonna, Nashville understood that if we got a system, just like the AU Center in Atlanta, if we can retain 10 to 5% of those bright minds, you're going to have ideas come from all over the world. But see, Memphis just focus on athletics. They don't understand about bringing bright minds to the city and retaining, because they busy trying to oppress black people. Okay? So, to get past that and let you know what I'm saying. So I got all these people from all over the world, born in India, born in Beijing, born in Africa, that's sitting saying, and these guys, high dollar guys, got beautiful wives, educated, They said there's nowhere for us to go to show our wives a good time unless we go to Tunica or all the way downtown or over to Germantown somewhere. We don't have anywhere to go where we can listen to some nice music and date my wife and cocktail, something besides a restaurant. So me and my partners, we sitting back listening. We was like, let's do it. So my next door neighbor, Larry Etter, he just happened to be at the time, he was a teacher at University of Memphis, and bless his heart, he's the give a shout out to Malco Theaters. He's the senior vice president of Malco Theaters. Oh, okay. And he was consulting me. And his son, Eric Etter, is the associate director over here at the culinary school. So they were consulting us on what to do. And what I mean by consulting, just stand in the driveway, talk, do it this way, Sean, do it this way. That's who you need to talk to, this and that. So I had the real estate background. I knew how to negotiate leases and how to do the deal. And we were thinking, I'm not going to give out my place where we're going to open the second Blue Room, but I was working something out and they weren't quite working with me. But as COVID went on and it went from 365 days, 2 years, right now I got them pretty much eating out my hand. So I ran in Larry coming out the driveway. He said, Sean, I think I got something better for you. Come have a meeting. So shout out to the vice president of University of Memphis, Ron Brooks. I had a meeting with Ron Brooks and the other executives and administrators at University of Memphis, and they sat a young brother from Westwood via Whitehaven in front of them. And with Dr. Haney, shout out to Dr. Haney, Tennessee State University.
Dang.
Hey, they don't need to give a brother but one shot at it. And I sat down and I aced the interview. And I mean, they vetted me. They did the research and they saw, thank God, I was solid. And we pulled everything together. I got 4 partners and myself is 5 of us. We didn't have to go to a bank and get a loan. I had to say, let me send some more shouts out because it's very detrimental what you said. We come together. Thank you, Brian Pollard, Missy Pollard, A&R Barbecue. They donated towards my cause. Okay. Thank you, Heidi Hubbard. Thank you, Michael Wardlow, my attorney.
No, Mike, good guy.
Yeah, Mike, good guy.
His brothers.
Right. Yeah, the Wardlow brothers. They donated to my cause.
Good brothers.
Shout out to Myron Armstrong, my plumber, AC guy. He donated to my cause. Shout out to my uncle Lord Piggies. I call him Bill. He donated to my cause. Okay? These are people that believed in me and stroked the check. Handed me a check and say, go ahead and do it. Pay me when you get it. Some I hadn't paid, some I still owe, but they know they're going to get their money. But that's what we have to do in the community as a whole. We need to support one another so we don't have to depend on the bank. And then another thing with these athletes and these rappers, we need our own bank. Quit going to somebody else because it's easy for them to tell you no. And the reason I can say this because of nepotism, when I 20 years ago, through nepotism, I could go in Bank of Fayette County, Trustmark, what's another bank I deal with, Connor? First Tennessee.
Trust.
Patriot Bank. That's a facade about your credit score. They give a loan to who they want to give a loan to.
I agree.
It's who you know. It ain't got nothing to do with about a credit score. So nepotism. You hang around the wrong folk, you'll never get anything. Put yourself around the right people. Go around the right circles. You know, And we decided to open this restaurant at a higher level because we wanted something that we could offer the people that was more something sexy and chic, but on a high culinary level where people could come and have a great time and enjoy themselves and feel safe. And they ain't worried about the young Thundercats doing donuts and pinching your woman on the butt and all that old foolishness and twerking on the furniture. And that's cool in its place. But I'm just telling you, the Blue Room Restaurant is not that establishment. We're not, you know, we try to pride ourselves on the level of a Ruth Chris or Fleming's or Folks Follies.
Stop advertising that, but anyway. Listen, brother, listen, brother. Let me tell you something. Let me go back. First of all, let's go back to community, like you said. Let's hit on that.
Okay.
We know what the problems are. Now it's time to come to the table with solutions.
Right.
We got to educate our people. A lot of people, we just don't know. I mean, you know, some people just don't know what you just said, what the Jews do.
Right.
So that's why it's up to leaders like us, you and I, right?
Correct.
To actually take our people and educate them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need to be right now. Here's what I can vision. I can vision us taking a person from high school under our wings, give them a job in your restaurant, whoever restaurant, right?
Right.
When they get to a certain point, have it already set up at the end where they can own their own restaurant.
Exactly.
That's what other people do. Why can't we do it? I mean,
Exactly.
I'm just going to use Checkers and Riders, for example. I can get to a point with them, and I'm just talking, that I could take a high schooler under my wings, put them in one of those shops.
And teach.
Teach them, right? Once that individual get to a point where you know they solid, I already had the banks lined up. I already had a franchisor to donate the franchise. I'm just giving you an example. That's what I'm talking about doing. The city of Memphis can get involved. We can all, but listen, that's what's going to change the trajectory of our young people.
Right.
Until we do that, brother, they're going to keep on seeing what they see on TikTok,
Right.
wherever they looking at.
Right.
Until they see what we talking about now. But we got to get in front of them. We got to, listen, guys, you need to, I'm asking, I hope people are still there. If you look at this, share this story. Share what you share with your other stuff, the stuff that, man, I don't care what you do on your Facebook page, but stuff that's irrelevant. You know, it's very relevant. But if you want to get blessed, this is how you pass on blessings.
Right.
This is going to bless young people to see this gentleman's story, to see where he came from. You know, to see where I made mistakes. I had Red Robin on Winchester.
Right.
I don't call it a failure. I did something that a lot of people that wish they could at 23 years. I was 24 years old. I was still young. I was still a little naive in certain things.
But you got to jump out in that water,
I
baby.
jumped out on faith. Guess
Right.
what? I jumped out on faith and did what I wanted to do.
Right.
But God used me. I want him to continue to use me because guess what? I got a testimony
Correct.
that we can share. That people, and that's another thing I don't understand. Why people don't go to people that know it. I don't say we know it all, but if we've been through it, pick up the phone. That's free
And
information.
call.
But
And
they
call.
won't do it because their ego.
Right.
Their ego. Well, you got a lot of it, which I don't, that's on them. But we need to network. We need to
Correct.
come together and network. I don't care what we do. We need to come together as one. Leaders.
Correct.
We need to come together as one.
Correct.
I'm talking about from the mayor all the way down to these pastors. You know, everybody got their shine, but we always trying to get the same shine.
And let me say this.
Yeah.
This new generation, you know, with these women talking about they don't need a man. A man needs a woman just as bad as a woman needs a man. We were put on this earth for companionship. And guess what? If it's two, you can tango. Okay. Starting with the family. Okay. And most other families, when I said about starting your own business, their children have more options, so it's not as much pressure. Okay. When I was raised up, my parents did the best they could. Okay. But when I graduated from high school, I could either go to trade school, the military, go to college, or get a job. See, Black families need to start having a fifth option. Go to trade school, the military, go to college, get a job, or work for your family business.
And what's that called? Generational what?
Wealth.
Generational what?
Wealth.
And
we got to create it. And let me say this, and you know this, Ricky, because being a business owner is being able to accept failure. Sometimes, after you pay your expenses and pay salaries and pay your own personal bills, you may have a negative $18 in your account. But you get on your knees and you say, thank you, God. I got another 30 days to hustle. And then after 365 days, that account that was a negative $18 got a positive $180,000 in it. Because you didn't put your work in. You got to put your work in.
Say it again. You got to do what?
You got to put that work in.
You got to do the work, people.
Got to do the work.
Anything good come to you quick is not good for you.
Right.
It's not going to be good to you because you're not going to appreciate it. But when you work hard for it, I promise you're going to appreciate it. And I always tell people, I give you an example. I used to go down to the casino. I was a high roller back in the day. I'm going to tell people this story. But I'm going to tell you, God broke, and I got to tell the story. So I was a high roller. And you know when they had Bally's Casino, right?
Right.
It was me, Mr. Fleming. It was Ted Turner. We had a certain knock we do on the back door of the casino, and they let us in. We was high rollers.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you how God worked. He broke me down, said, son, this is not the right way to go. Because I win thousands of dollars. But I go lose
too.
I lose, but hold on, but I blow it.
Right.
I give it away.
Right.
So my point being, it came easy to me. So I didn't appreciate it.
Right.
And then the story behind it is that God take you through things for a reason. He took me for a reason because I could have lost everything I owned. Because I know people that have. You know too.
Yes, sir.
So
the casino
will tear you up. So when I'm saying you, brother, we got to really get back to the basics. We got to really, like I said, I keep reiterating, come together. We need to get people involved. We got to get them involved. They got to see this. Like I said, they're going to get tired of seeing me. I don't care. Because I'm doing God's work. If you don't like listen, get mad at God. Don't get mad at me. You know what I mean? We doing what God wants us to do. We're gonna follow His footsteps, if you like it or not. But what we gonna do, and we're gonna continue to do, I'm gonna continue to put stories out like this because these youngsters need to see this, and these millennials. I'm coming to you. I know some. I mean, my daughter, she is working hard right now because guess what? She understands. I'm not gonna lie, spoil my kids.
Right.
But now she's saying, Dad, I see what you're talking about. It's no joke out here.
No, it's tough.
It's tough. And listen, I'm tell you, restaurants, QSR restaurants, we are having listen, when McDonald's go to a $5 meal deal, you know something wrong.
Right.
So a lot of us are hurting, and I'll be the first.
Right.
And people don't know it. Yeah, we hurt. I tell you right now, we hurt. Don't think because I'm doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing this because guess what? God already figured it out for me. He's already worked it out for me. I know for a fact. When I look back, it's already worked out because I gave it over to Him a long time ago.
Right. You got to.
What happened to me, brother, is when I didn't give it over to Him. That's what happened to me. That's how I felt. That's how He broke me down on my knees. Right? So that's my story, and tell you that He will break you down and He will slow you down.
Correct.
He will slow you down and get your attention by any means necessary. So I'm telling you this right now, firsthand. But brother, I am so proud of you guys. Brother, I'm proud of you. Listen, can I bring you? Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Carmen, come. Can you come? I want to introduce Miss Carmen. You know what? His beautiful wife. Come right here, Miss Carmen. Beautiful wife. He was his makeup artist today. What else would you, Miss Carmen? Today?
Everything.
Look, makeup.
Secretary.
Secretary. Hey, look. Listen, but this man is where he is because his mom and his wife.
Right.
And you know what? The Lord gonna bless me one day. Gonna find me. Listen, it's coming. I can feel it.
Yeah,
it's right. It's right here. Listen, it's so close. But I'm gonna continue to be obedient to God.
Right.
Right, and be patient.
Right.
But listen, you will be where you are without this woman.
You're exactly right.
And that's real talk. I want the world to know if you're looking at this is where you are today.
That's right.
You know, God.
Behind every man,
it's
strong
a strong
man, strong woman.
What he said? It's a man's world, but what?
Wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
Listen, I'm so proud of you, brother.
That's why I preach that, brother.
Man, you doing it. with your beautiful wife and your listen, guys, you got to come and check this place out. The Blue Room and what's that? Germantown Park. What's the address?
It's 1245 North Germantown Parkway. We're open right at the present time Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. We close between 3 and 5, so we're open for lunch between 11 and 3, and then we open back up for dinner between 5 and 10. I would appreciate it because we do fine dining, and we've kind of had some issues with trying to get the meals out a little quicker. If you guys would make a reservation here at the Blue Room. But we have live entertainment on Fridays and Saturday nights. We have jazz, R&B, top 40. But you'll love the ambiance and the environment. And also we have the studio in the back. That's our banquet space. That's run by Nikisha Green of Pedal Studios. She does a great job. Shout out to Nikisha Green. She does a great job. And we rolling, baby. We rolling. We making it happen. We making it. We doing the damn thing.
Y'all doing the damn thing here. I'm proud of this brother. So, listen, guys. Please, and I listen. Please, we got to come together. And I reiterate, we got to come together. We got to support one another. We got to support one another, because if we listen, you gonna go support somebody else. Why come out, drive out here a little extra to come to support this brother? Right. I mean, go out to these. I mean, you know, I did Slim and Huskies. He owned Union. I mean, different establishments we can go. And another thing too, we can find time to do what we want to do when we want to do it. Right. So listen, I'm going to be out here. Mm-hmm. Supporting you. So do you guys take large reservations?
Oh, okay. We have access to over $10 million worth of equipment with the culinary school. We have a relationship and a partnership with the University of Memphis.
Do you do catering?
So yeah, we can do it. We can do a catering up to 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Okay.
We can handle it.
You can handle it. Okay.
The students step in and assist on a large volume cater like that. And also, I'd like to let you guys know tonight, which is August the 6th, Friday night, my Detroit connection.
September.
Google him.
September 6th.
September the 6th, I'm sorry. My Detroit connection, Anderson Hunt. He was the star basketball player for UNLV. Mm-hmm. But he's a Detroit native. Mm-hmm. He's a friend of mine. When he played for the Sharks. Okay. When they won the national championship. Okay. He'll be here tonight with a meet and greet. He'll be signing autographs, taking pictures. So you ladies are welcome to come. A lot of pro athletes will be in here tonight and come hang out and enjoy the music. We got Pat Register live. He'll be on at 6:30. So come on and check us out, man. We got champagne, wine, full service bar. Nice. Shout out to my bar manager, Ricky Jones. That's my church member. But he's the best bartender in town. So whenever you guys want to have a challenge, we'll go to any bar, any place, anytime. Rick Jones, the Rick Jones, Hamilton High School ambassador, is the best bartender in town. I guarantee it.
Listen, guys, I want to thank this brother. In closing, I want to thank him. Thank God for another day again. Man, I love you, brother. I love you. And I know, like I said, he Westwood, Lee Crest, but listen, since this, I'm going to wrap this up. The last thing I'm going to wrap up here. Right. Brother, I can't make it tonight because I'm going to be at Westwood High School football game.
I heard y'all rolling over there.
Tonight at 7 o'clock at St. Benedict. You better beat me there because I'm going to be up in there. I'm in there shimmering on the field because Westwood, listen.
They're going to have to do a lot of shimmering to catch up Whitehead.
No, listen.
Because Salisbury, he didn't handle his business. Coach, we already in the history books. But I think Westwood got one state championship, didn't it? Did T-Bird or Rodney Hughes and them get one championship?
I think we got a couple. I think we got a couple.
I don't know about no couple.
I think we got.
don't know about no couple.
You got to stay. You went to Whitehead, but you got to stay with Westwood.
But see, like I said, I can come to Westwood anytime that I want to. See, a lot of cats can't come to Westwood. I can.
You right about that?
See,
No, listen, guys. Don't believe that. We gonna make Westwood great again. Listen, Dr. Watson. I'm gonna see you there tonight, brother. Listen, we gonna make Westwood great again. I promise you on everything that I love. Listen, Whitehaven, you guys, listen, Coach. I talked to him.
Whitehaven.
Whitehaven.
Tigers. Woo. They don't want no more this big black and gold. Whitehaven.
But you know, Coach Salisbury, I text that brother. You know, I want to thank Coach Salisbury. Listen, they played in Tupelo, Mississippi the other day. So I asked Dr. Watson to reach out to Dr. Hunter because we do business not on the Checkers in Tupelo.
Right.
So Coach Salisbury, thank you, good brother. We fed the whole team, the Whitehaven football team.
Okay.
So we appreciate
Good
that.
deal.
And Coach Salisbury, I told him just to hit me up because, you know, I just don't do stuff for Westwood. I go, listen,
Right.
listen, I was at the school yesterday, and I'm telling you, brother, if you could see the educators, if you could see their faces, they go through a lot every day. And I don't know if you adopted the school, Brother Sean, but I need you to the Memphis and Shelby County school system, they need us.
Right.
Those kids need to see us. The educators can't do it by themselves because their parents are not doing it.
Right.
So they need to see more of you. They need to see more of me. So I want you, if you can, just kind of think about adopting the school.
Right.
Adopting the school, getting in the school system. They need to see you coming there to see you.
Correct.
To hear from you. Go on career day, whatever you need to do, guys.
Correct.
They need to see more of us. Because that's all they see is talk, tick tock, doc, whatever they see.
Right.
But they need to see you in real life. So
Correct.
I want to put you on the spot now. And anybody out there, and all you business leaders, get in the school system. I mean, I know you do stuff on your, but get in the school system because yesterday, I can't think of the school where I was yesterday, but Dr. Renfro, listen, you're doing an incredible job over there. You're doing it. Keep your head up, sister. You are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if you could just see the look on their faces, because they love these kids.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they have certain challenges they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what we did? We went in there yesterday. Dr. Watson and I went in there and cheered the whole staff up. That's what we do. Like I said, we don't do it for clicks and likes. We do it to get blessed. We want to bless somebody else. So we blessed them yesterday. And I know they appreciate it, but I want you, brother, and anybody else, listen, get into school. Go show these kids some time. Show them some love. Show them how to, like you said, get, you know, their insurance policy. We need to educate our kids now.
Right.
All right?
Right. And I just want to leave a word to the young people. And this is from my mother, my dear mother. Pearl Jean Hampton Crosby Burke Piggies. She got a lot of names.
Say that again.
Pearl Jean Hampton. She was a Hampton first.
Hampton.
She got adopted when she was 6 months old.
Okay.
Then she became a Crosby.
Crosby, too.
Then she was married to my father for 22 years. She became a Burke.
Okay, gotcha.
Then she was married to my stepfather for 3 or 4 years. And then she became a Piggies. So that's how she got the last name Piggies.
Four. Okay.
Jean is her middle name.
Oh, Jane, I got it. Okay.
But she's only been married twice. Okay, but I like to leave this note before we get off the air to all the young people. And I teach this to my kids. And this goes a long way. Keep God in your heart, knowledge in your head, and money in your pocket. And you'll be all right.
Amen, bro. Hey, y'all. Listen, thank you for tuning in with Business Talk with Cedric Turner. And we got, I want to say this too. We got, next week we're going to be, I don't know where you're going to be. We're going to have the band, TSU band, Aristocratic Bands will be here.
That's right.
Dr. McDonald, we're going to do a live with the band. And we're going to announce something. TSU. We're going to announce something special. And listen, I want everybody to tune in. You know, Westwood, you think we're doing something big. TSU, we're get ready to do something real big. So I want everybody to tune in. It's going to be next Friday.
Big at TSU.
Next Friday from 6 to 9. So tune in. I'll be with Dr. McDonald. That's my good old buddy. Even though he went into the light and went on the other side of the light, but I'm going to be there with him. So I want everybody to tune in. That's going to be the next live. And we appreciate it and love each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless you.
Thank you. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Love you, man.
Love you too.
All right.